Hi there, Gareth here again. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So today, St. Patrick's Day, Friday, the 17th, as you'll be watching this if you watch on the day. It's considered the day where Irish people celebrate their culture quite often. St. Patrick being the patron saint of Ireland, he brought Christianity there. The symbol of Ireland is a shamrock, as will be on the thumbnail, an image of a shamrock. This is what he always carried with him to explain the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, how they're all three separate things but all one plant, just like the shamrock. You'll see a shamrock on most Ireland international shirts. It's their symbol. It's a big part of their culture. So yeah, the celebration of St. Patrick's Day, you'll probably see more things from the USA, the Irish immigrant culture, communities and cultures there. It's not really like real Ireland at all. There is a argument that they're stereotypical, the kind of celebrations they have there. Lots of drinking, everything's really green, lots of leprechauns. The kind of thought that people can drink loads and be stupid, which is two of the main negative stereotypes of Irish people, which I don't think anybody in the US actually has a right to do generally. I think it's probably quite fun, a St. Patrick's Day parade. There is an Irish community there if that's how they choose to celebrate it, but some people have this opinion that it is reinforcing a lot of negative stereotypes about the Irish. So the big parties in Boston and New York are not like anything in Ireland if you go to Ireland. Very, very different. In fact, when I lived in Britain, it became a bigger deal. Even though I lived in England, you would see more advertising for St. Patrick's Day than St. George's Day, the actual saint of England. Maybe some of the English breweries should have been as intelligent as Guinness. So Guinness being the principal brewery, I think it's the third biggest brewery in the world. I believe possibly the biggest business of any kind, based in Ireland. It's a stout, dark, heavy beer, a beer I already liked. But you'd see many adverts. Drink Guinness this St. Patrick's Day, and they would be starting end of February. You'd get these. Make sure you buy Guinness St. Patrick's Day. So, yeah, the Irish did have a few traditional celebrations at a smaller scale, but the biggest factor in Britain and Ireland is possibly Guinness's marketing. They want this special Irish Day to sell more Guinness. I never needed persuading. It was always a beer I liked myself. I do like Ireland. My mum lived there a long time, so a lot of Irish traditions I grew up with at home, even though I'm not really that Irish. Nobody don't have very negligible amount of Irish heritage, just like most people from the north of England have, to an extent. So yeah, a lot of Irish traditions are quite nice. Real Irish traditions. It's not all green and leprechauns like it is. A leprechaun being the little green man. There was an old Irish legend that is you find the leprechaun when you get to the end of the rainbow and there'll be a pot of gold. And this has become a big stereotype. So many very tacky, poor taste casinos have things full of leprechauns. One little legend that Irish people themselves don't mention that much, I don't think. I've never heard any of the Irish people I've met talk about leprechauns. I've heard people use the word leprechaun as a word to insult Irish people, which isn't okay. It's just some little legend. Just like for Brazilians watching this, I know most of my audience are the sassy, so it's for Brazil, the folklore, there's something like that, but it's from a very long time ago. So yeah, St. Patrick was the guy who brought Christianity there. Probably one of the most famous saints that's used in Britain. Obviously St. George is more widespread, many other countries use. But yeah, it's the day for Ireland, supposedly. But they don't celebrate it the same way as they do in America. Everybody has to wear green and things like that. It's a bit tacky, really, but each to their own, we say. Everyone can have their own opinions. I hope you found this video interesting. Please like and comment underneath and share. And make sure you're subscribed. So if you've got any comments, if you've ever been to a St. Patrick's Day parade in anywhere, probably New York and Boston would be the main ones. Or if you've tried Guinness or Irish stew, any Irish food or drink, or you know any famous Irish people, put it in the comments and make a discussion. I always reply to my comments if you have any questions, and see you in another video.